James Russell. I'm president of the Whaling Museum, and it's a great pleasure to welcome all our viewers to this terrific celebratory occasion tonight. We have a number of speakers, and first up is John Pinheiro, former trustee at the Whaling Museum and also co-chair of the Portuguese Advisory Committee. I'd very much like to welcome John and thank him for all his efforts. John Pinheiro.
Very good. First of all, I want to welcome everybody here in behalf of the Bedford Whaling Museum and in behalf of the Portuguese Outreach Committee, which I'm the co-chairman. This is an exciting project. We have a lot of people involved on this, and will be even more people involved. I'm very happy because the community get aboard this. A few years ago, community wasn't really involved with whaling or whale boats, and this time we had a fundraiser through individuals and through business people. That's very exciting. Because of them, we get other donations. It's involving the community on this project probably is one of the most rewarding things for myself. We get João coming from Pico. He built this boat and two other boats. He's a master building. We are lucky and proud to have him here. And there's quite a few people here that probably we'll talk about later on as other speakers that will talk about people that put this project together. The thing very important here too is we're going forward. We're going to have a fundraiser in May 4th. We're going to have a regatta in September. At this regatta, particularly because we're going to race the Yankee boats, which 6 being built all over the country, all over the New England, and we're going to go against the Azorean boats. Pass the word out to your friends, wherever they live on the country, to come down, look at the boats, ask questions, bring some donations here and there. That's always welcome. So to everybody, thank you, and pass the word, and let's hope for the best.
Thanks, John. And helping John with the committee is Dr. Brian Rothschild, co-chair of the Portuguese Advisory Committee. Come on up, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's really great to be here. One of the great things about events like this is that they're milestones, at least in my life, because I remember when Victor and I were bringing some parts for this whaleboat back from the Azores a number of years ago. So the milestone today is we have this beautiful model. The workmanship is incredible. It signifies the contribution of the community to a really great project. And John Pinheiro just mentioned about the 4th of May when we're going to have the really great regatta. So everything is a snowball of development, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And we just had the folks of the community contributing to the museum. They're all here, and on behalf of the committee, I would like to thank them and the contribution of this activity to the Wood Foundation. So we all want to bless this boat and hope it sails well as it sits all alone in the museum. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian. Well, now let's hear from the master craftsman himself, João Tavares, who's joining us from Pico, and Joe Soares, former president of the Azorean Maritime Heritage Society, will translate for João. João and Joe.
Boa tarde para todo o pessoal, uns que conheço, outros que não conheço, mas desejo uma boa tarde para todos e especialmente aqui para o Sr. Diretor do Museu, em que tem entrado em contatos aqui através de João Pinheiro, comigo, José Soares, por causa deste projeto. Andamos aqui a conversar este projeto há mais de um ano já. Mas chegou o tempo de ser realizado e estou muito satisfeito de se ter feito esta réplica de um bote baleeiro para ficar em memória dos Açores aqui em representação no nosso museu aqui da baleia. Estou com muita alegria de estar cá. Já conhecia um bocadinho de New Bedford, já conhecia este ambiente um bocado. É quase o mesmo que estar em casa, muito convívio das pessoas, a cumprimentarem as pessoas, a atenderem. A João falta isto, a João falta aquilo. Muita gente a dar os seus apoios e por isso sinto-me aqui quase como em casa lá nos Açores. Um bocadito diferente, porque a família está longe, mas o tempo corre e a gente aproxima-se novamente na ida para trás. Portanto, tenho pouco a dizer disto, porque não sei falar inglês, sei construir, mas falar inglês é difícil para mim. A construção para mim é fácil, estou muito habituado a trabalhar nos botes, de 97 para cá, por isso veio a trabalhar em botes de baleia. Quando se fez o último bote da baleia, eu tinha 3 anos, quando se fez o último bote da baleia, foi em 49, eu era pequenino, acompanhei lá isso já nessa idade, e por isso entusiasmei sempre muito com os botes. O meu pai levava-me lá para a oficina, e lá brincava com aparas, com as ferramentas, ia pisando os dedos cá e lá, mas e nunca desisti de não gostar dos barcos. Por isso é o que digo a toda a gente, que gosto muito de trabalhar em barcos, na minha arte de madeira, e foi sempre o meu serviço. O primeiro, barcos de atum e reparações e alguns restauros e tráfego local, principalmente entre Flores e Corvo, fiz muitas reparações. Tem sido uma vida sempre ligada ao mar e aos barcos. O Zé talvez queira aqui dar, porque a história torna-se grande e o Zé não.
Sorry, I won't be able to recap already half of what he said. Well, first of all, he likes to greet and thank all of you that for being here today. On this behalf, on this part, it's been a pleasure and an honor, to be able to and to be invited to do this project. He wants to thank both James Russell, John Pinheiro, and through the foundation. It's been a year in the making as far as this project, but it's been a pleasure for him. As far as on the boat building, so the last boat that was built in the Azores, he was about 3 years old, and his father was part of the crew building the boat, and he would go there as a child, bang some nails, some on the nails, some on his fingers, but but that wasn't the experience for him. Then in 1997, there was an opportunity for him to build again an Azorean whale boat, which he did, which is the Bella Vista that we have today. And since then, he has built 22 ou 23?
Tudo 23 novos e 4 operações para o museu.
Since 97, he has built 23 full-size Azorean whale boats. He refurbished 4 used ones and then the model. So it's been an accomplishment, for him. Okay.
Portanto, isto há pouco mais a dizer, um bocadinho da minha história, há pouco mais a dizer. Nisto tem sido um sucesso, depois de principiar nos botes. Todas as ilhas dos Açores, já quase todas têm botes construídos por mim, uns recuperados, outros construídos. Agora vai-se reconstruir, dar uma remodelação numa lancha da baleia lá e acabar um bote para as flores. E eu depois espero que aqui o diretor do museu pense em fazer uma réplica de uma lancha da baleia também, mas tem que aproveitar o mais breve possível, que daqui a chegar a 70 anos está quase, já são 66, já não dá para sair muito de casa, e portanto, assim, todo o processo que eu quero iniciar, que eu dei-me a entender já que gostava ainda de ter uma réplica de uma lancha da baleia, pois ainda, se puder, ainda tudo disponível para dar cá um salto a New Bedford outra vez. Se não, há-se dar um passeio só, ver os amigos alguma vez, principalmente no tempo das regatas, não? Eu gosto sempre de acompanhar a regata. Este ano não dá, porque tenho um compromisso com a Ilha das Flores para recuperar um bote assim que for para trás. E também uma pessoa teve agora esta temporada aqui, lidou com os amigos todos cá, é tudo muito junto, entre vir cá daqui a um ano visitá-los novamente. E é tudo que tenho a dizer, e uma boa tarde, e que gostem, que tenham gostado do trabalho, e pouco mais tenho a acrescentar sobre isto, não? Eles é que sabem dar o valor ao projeto, e é que tiveram a iniciativa do projeto.
On the history of whale boat, John has pretty much whale boats already built throughout all the islands of the Azores, either new or reconditioned boats. He says that James would like to also have a replica of the launch, and Portuguese, what we call a lanchas, which is the tow motorboat for the whale boats. So he says, if you intend to do that, maybe start thinking about that, because 70 is coming up quickly. Other than that, he hopes that you enjoy the model, and he thanks everyone again for being here.
Well, now a great element of this project is the participation, and we're very fortunate that Philippe Pereira is joining us from the island of Saint George, and also studies in Fayal. So I'd like Philippe to come up and say a couple of words, and it's terrific to have you over here on this cultural exchange, Philippe.
Well, first of all, I would like to apologize for my poor English. So, my name is Philippe Pereira. I'm a naval constructor student from Fayal Island in Azores, from the Vocative School of Horta. And I'm here with João because, as I told you, I'm a naval constructor student, and as part of my month and a half training period, I was going to go to make the training period with João in Pico Island at his own shop. But then, when we started talking about it, he suggested that I should come here with him. And through the Secretary of Communities of Azores, we were able to bring me here in partnership with the school. So here I am. I'm loving it. It's an extraordinary experience. It's the first time I'm in America, so I don't know. It's a lot of new things that I'm experiencing right now. So being with João here is a huge privilege, because he's one of the two unique persons that do this, and in my opinion, I say that he's the best. Everyone has a right to his own, but mine is the best. Being able to learn with him, it's amazing, because he has a different approach about boat building, which is amazing. When you talk about boat building, you think about a lot of complicated stuff, right? And he does it with in such an easy way, you know. For him, everything gets easy. He never gets worried about anything. Everything gets solved at the right time. So no worries with him. You think it's too hard, and then he tells you to do something, and you start thinking, how am I going to do this? Then he tells you, it's like this, and you go like, oh, that's all. You know, he has a different approach. He's like an artist. He does this because he really loves to do it. It's amazing to work with him. He's a great professional. So as Mr. James said, I'm very lucky to be here. But on top of it, I'm very, very lucky to be learning with him. So, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Philippe. Well, now, so I think you should be getting the impression here that this is not about the finished product. This is all about the process that's going into this. And every day we come in here a couple of times a day, and it is amazing how many people are participating. And having Philippe come over from the Azores and to have that endorsed by the Minister of Communities in the Azores just reinforces the international exchange, which really has been the premise and also part of a protocol that Brian and John worked up with the Autonomous Regional Government of the Azores 2 years ago. Well, now, not coming from the Azores, but representing volunteers, of which Paul Bradley is here, Fernando Viveras. Fernando, did I see you in the back there? Fernando, thank you. Manny, Manny, thank you, Manny. And John Branco. John, I don't see John. He's kind of identifiable, but I don't see him. He's on his way to Portugal. Is he looking for boat designs? So representing the volunteer component of this, Peter is a member of the Whaling Museum. He read about this project in our newsletter. Peter will tell you where he's from, someplace in Pennsylvania. He's staying with us for the next couple of months. And Peter, welcome to New Bedford, and tell us about your experiences.
Thank you. James. Yes, I am from Pennsylvania these days, in Kennett Square, which is near Longwood Gardens. For any of you who are really world-class gardeners, that's the place to go. I spent 45 years in Washington, D.C. designing boats for Navy and for Coast Guard, sort of back and forth, and was born in Fall River, Massachusetts, and have been a member of the museum here for a long time. And when I saw the mailing come out that described this project going forward, I decided, well, that looks like a great opportunity, since I'm also a lifelong woodworker, and if you put woodworking and boats all in the same package, it doesn't really get much better than that. So here I am, and I'm very glad that I came up. It's been a very interesting experience for me as a designer to actually have hands-on time building a wooden boat. I've had only one other wooden boat in my career, and it was a boat for the Naval Academy a number of years ago, and that was just doing the structural design. Working with João is a very different experience than doing the kind of design that I have been trained for and doing in my career. If you're building boats 20 or 200 at a time for government purposes or commercial purposes, you have a different approach to the engineering side of things, and it's been really eye-opening for me as a card-carrying naval architect, engineer, whatever you want to say, to work with a man who approaches building a boat as an art form and a labor strictly of love and of evolution. Every boat he does is different because every boat he does brings to it the experience of all the previous boats, and he rolls it into the new boat and makes the new boat the best one that he knows how to make on that particular day. Next year's boat will be a better boat because of this boat. and it's been a really wonderful experience to work with João and to experience his way of building the boat. The total engineering for this boat is a half model, about this long, that describes what the shape of the boat will be. Everything else, every decision that was made, every single day, many times a day, each piece of the boat comes right off the top of his head and out of his heart. And it's just been a wonderful experience for me, and I'm glad of the experience in my career to be able to take part in this building project. Thank you.
So I'm standing here and I'm just looking at this exquisite piece of art. I'm looking at the bronze, which is gorgeous, and I want to thank Joe Soares for creating and crafting the forms, and I want to thank Edson and Will and Hank Keane, who are with us, for casting these. And this is just an absolutely gorgeous looking vessel, and so we can't wait to show this at the museum. Well, now I'd like to ask Victor Pinheiro to come forward to tell us about a lot of the projects which are taking place in the next couple of months, which are important that this is all looped into. Victor Pinheiro, President of the Azorean Maritime Heritage Society.
Thanks, James, and good afternoon. I have to believe that this boat will become probably one of the signature pieces and featured items in the Azorean Gallery, and certainly we're all excited about that, and again want to thank the community that came forward to make this possible. I think that probably the first event or the first time you'll be able to see this in its new home in the Lagoda Room in the Azorean Gallery and Whaling Museum will be at our May 4th gala event for the Azorean Maritime Heritage Society, which is a major fundraiser for our regatta coming in September. As you may know, the International Azorean Whaleboat Regatta is going to take place here in New Bedford this year. It's the 7th annual. And it will be from September 4th to September 10th, with the racing in Clark's Cove on September 6th, 7th, and 8th. All the funding for that event, which is a major undertaking, comes from basically our major fundraiser, which is on May 4th. So we do have tickets for sale here this evening. You can get them in the back of the room on your way out. You came in for free, but you got to pay to leave. So there are tickets for sale. We also have raffle tickets. You can win a trip to the beautiful Azores as first prize. But we'd love to see you there. It'll be the first time to see the boat in its new home, and we're pretty excited about that. A little bit about the regatta. As I said, it's the 7th annual. It's going to feature teams from 2 islands of the Azores. We're expecting teams to come from Fayal and from the island of Pico to compete against our teams from New Bedford. They'll be competing both in rowing and sailing events in Clark's Cove on Friday and Saturday. This year, an added feature which we're very excited about, and I think is going to create a lot of buzz, not only locally, but perhaps nationally from the media and boating enthusiasts, is the introduction of a Yankee Azorean sail and row-off. James will talk about it a little bit later, but many of you know there are Beetle Yankee whaleboats being built at various places throughout New England, and 3 of those are going to compete in an event against the 3 Azorean boats, both in rowing and sailing on Sunday. That has a lot of historic connotations, and probably that's never happened. Certainly never happened in the U.S. Perhaps it may have happened in the Azores in the mid-1800s when the Dabney family brought a few of the Yankee boats over, and perhaps some Sunday afternoon, some of the boys off of the Morgan or off of some other whale ships in Horta decided to have a race against the Azorean boats. So it may have happened there, but if it has, we're going to replicate it here. It should be a grand event to watch these beautiful, majestic boats sailing and rowing in the bay. There's a lot of speculation as to which boat is faster, on which point of sail, which one's going to row faster, which one's going to go downwind faster. We don't know, but we'll find out. So we hope you'll be part of it. Join us on May 4th. Certainly keep in touch about the regatta and all the events. I think it's going to be a great competition, especially the Azorean Yankee event. Perhaps a little wager is in order with James, since James is here, and there's speculation about which boats are faster. I think that perhaps if the Azoreans should win, then we'll have to feed the Whaling Museum linguiça sandwich lunch. And if the Yankees win, then they'll have to feed us a cheeseburger lunch. So that's the wager: cheeseburgers against linguiça sandwiches. So right on. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you on May 4th. And thank you for making all this possible.
I have a funny feeling with Victor on the race committee that this is going to be totally biased and rigged. But wager accepted. And Victor, do you like cheddar or Swiss on that burger? Okay. Oh, I'm up next. Okay. So, by the way, the music in the background is a parade which is going right by Casa the Boat as we speak. We're here on a Thursday night during AHA night, and this is a great community celebration with lots of people around New Bedford. So I also want to point out that at the fundraiser on May 4th, we're also going to be unveiling a vigia that Bay State Drywall is constructing. They're donating their time. I want to thank Joe Soares for that terrific effort, and we look forward to seeing that. I want to pull on a point that John Pinheiro made. John, you mentioned that this is a project about partnership, and we may be building a boat, but really what we're doing is we're building a community. That's really a theme that is running through here. And to tell us a little bit more about that, I'd like to ask the Mayor of New Bedford, Mayor John Mitchell, to come forward. John Mitchell.
Thank you. Boy, it's great to be in here. I wasn't sure where you guys were going to hold this event. I was hoping it would be in here. Last time I was in here, and John Branco was working away on one of these boats. Is he here today? Where's that? Oh, is that what he's doing? Oh, good. Well, listen. This is a neat set of events. So we got the race, and what is it? September? Is it September? The race is coming up, and we've already shot our mouths off to the ambassador to Portugal during a couple of his visits recently, telling him that the Portuguese team's going to lose, and it's always good to have a little bit of a rivalry. But in all seriousness, this is a really neat event because it really draws upon two key parts of New Bedford's heritage. It's whaling heritage and it's Portuguese heritage, and it's Azorean heritage in particular. There aren't, we search for these kinds of occasions when we can get people to come together and do something a little bit different and to be excited about it. And this is great. And when we bring in, our premier cultural institution, the Whaling Museum, to shepherd it, and then when we get community leaders, like John and Victor Pinheiro and Armin Fernandez and so many others who are part of it, good things happen. And this is something to be really excited about. We'll get lots of attention, but even more importantly, we'll have lots of fun with it. It'll it builds civic pride, and it's something that we as a city are more than happy to support. So I just wanted to say to everybody, this is good stuff. It builds not only bonds among us here in New Bedford, but also with Portugal and the Azores. And the more we can have of this, the better. And you got my support all the way, you guys. I mean, all of you who've worked on the boats. The boats look fantastic, and I'm looking forward to the race. So thanks everybody for listening to me. We got a parade coming by at an opportune moment. It was right on cue. So I hope you all get out and enjoy AHA night tonight. We got a lot of good stuff going on. But thanks for supporting this project. It's well worth it.
I was at a luncheon with the mayor where you gave a talk, and then we came to the Whaling Museum and you spoke about transportation, and I know you've been at two other events since then, and now you've come here to the podium. So thanks very much for coming, Mayor.
I'm going to one now.
And you're going to another one now. With us tonight is Dagny Ashley, and just if she could put up her hand, there's Dagny, and if you don't mind, Mayor, I might just mention to the group that Dagny is the points person from the Mayor's office working on the Morgan visit, which is coming in July 4th, 2014, and tying that in with this project, we know that many of the crew on the Morgan were, of course, of Portuguese and Cape Verdean descent. So it's entirely appropriate that you can see a number of programs all leading up from exhibits at the museum to working on here, to cultural exchanges, to lectures, to the fundraisers, to the Great Regatta, and then to this climactic event. And I should say, in between all of that, Fran Branco is organizing a trip, and so here's another plug. If people want to go to the Azores, talk to Fran Branco, because we're going from the 10th to the 17th or so of September 2013. So that concludes the remarks today. I want to thank everybody for coming, and for all our viewers on Cable Access TV, please come down to Casa the Boat anytime between now and May 3rd at midnight, and you will see this boat being constructed. You're most welcome. Thank you all.
looks great on you.
Oh my gosh, guys, I totally forgot to tell you. I broke up with Jeff.
No way. Why?
Because I was at his house the other day and he totally threw his water bottle in his paper recycling bin.
Ugh, ew. That's so gross.
I know, right? And I've told him a million times. It's so easy. It's just cardboard and paper in one and plastic, cans, metal, glass, and bottles in the other. But he just wouldn't listen, so I had to kick him to the curb.
You go, girl.
Call Marissa at 508-979-1493 to request your free recycling bins. This message was brought to you by the City of New Bedford and UMass Dartmouth Charlton School of Business.